Meet the Muppets, adapted by Ray Santos, based on the screenplay by Jason Segel and Nick Stoller, illustrated by Corey Heinzen. Meet Walter. Walter feels like he does not fit in, but he does not know why. Walter does know that he loves to watch Kermit the Frog and the other Muppets on TV. He dreams about meeting them one day. Walter lives with his best friend Gary in small town USA. Walter and Gary work together and like to ride bikes. Walter whistles all around town. He likes living there, but something in his life is missing. Gary and his friend Mary know that Walter loves the Muppets, so the three of them save up their money and get on a bus to Hollywood. They're going to make Walter's dream come true. Muppet Studios, here we come! Walter cheers as the bus leaves a small town for the big city. But when they get to Hollywood, Walter is shocked by what they find. Muppet Studios is a mess, and the Muppet Theater is in ruins. It sure looked a lot better in his dreams. It clearly has been empty for a long time. Walter feels sad and wanders off by himself. Then he hears voices and hides so he can listen. A man from Texas named Tex Richmond talks to his business partner. "In 2 weeks," says Tex, "we will tear this place down and drill for oil." Walter runs to tell his friends the awful news. He jumps in the car with Gary and Mary. "We have to find Kermit," he yells. "He can save the Muppet Studios." "How are we going to find him?" Mary asks. "Check a movie star map," Walter suggests. Mary has a better idea. She asks for directions. At last they find Kermit's house. Walter rings the doorbell. He is nervous. He is going to meet his hero. "Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here," Kermit answers. The famous frog invites them inside. Walter just stares at his hero. He is so excited. "Kermit, we have some bad news," Gary explains. They tell Kermit all about the Muppet Studios and Tex Richmond's evil plan. "We have to put on a show to save the studio," Kermit says. "But first, we have to find the other Muppets." They pile in Kermit's car. Their first stop is Reno, Nevada. They find Fozzie Bear performing with a fake Muppet group called the Muppets. "Hi ho, Fozzie," says Kermit. "We need your help." "But I have this act," says Fozzie. Then he looks at the sneering Muppets. Fozzie decides he prefers the Muppets. With a waka waka, Fozzie is ready to join them. They head out to find Gonzo. Gonzo used to do daredevil stunts. Now he runs a plumbing company. "Have a seat," he says, offering them toilets to sit on. Kermit asks him to come back to the Muppets. Gonzo says, "No, the world needs plumbing." The Muppets walk outside, sad to leave Gonzo behind, but then they hear a voice from above. "Citizens of Earth, the great Gonzo is back!" Gonzo performs a stunt just like he used to do. He jumps off the roof in a dive, holding Camilla the chicken. The gang discovers Animal trying to tame his wild rock and roll nature. "Come on, Animal!" cries Kermit. "Back together?" Animal asks. "Animal drums? Ah, yeah, 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 yeah!" Animal shouts. He waves his arms in the air as if he were playing the drums again. They find Dr. Teeth, Janice, Zoot, and Floyd from the Electric Mayhem Band rocking out in the New York subway. They found Rolf the dog relaxing in a hammock. "Well, why don't I get this entire page?" Rolf asks Kermit. "We do not have room in the book," Kermit says. Walter is so excited. At last he is meeting all the Muppets. They find Sam the Eagle hosting a TV news show. Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker are still busy doing experiments together. Everyone is happy to be back with the Muppets. Even Sweetums and Swedish Chef hop on board. The gang makes its last stop in Paris, France. Miss Piggy works at a fancy French magazine. Piggy had not seen Kermit in years, and she missed him. He would not come with her to France before. The French like to eat frogs' legs. "Miss Piggy," says Walter, "we need you." But she will not join them. "No, I have a life here now," she says sadly. The Muppets return to Muppet Studios without Piggy. They clean up the theater for the big show. Walter, Gary, and Mary lend a hand. "Can you believe it?" Walter asks excitedly. "We are inside the Muppet Theater." The next day the Muppets rehearse. Even Miss Piggy is back. She could not let her friends down, or miss a chance to star in the show. Everyone is out of practice. "Walter, can you help us out here?" asks Kermit. "Share your talent with us." "Me? I don't have a talent," says Walter. Walter looks at all the other Muppets. Fozzie tells jokes to penguins. Gonzo swings from the rafters. The Electric Mayhem Band practices with Rolf. Kermit tells Walter, "Just because you have not found your talent yet does not mean that you don't have a talent. If you look inside yourself, you will find something you are good at." Walter tries really hard to find his talent. He cannot tell jokes, or do stunts, or play music. He wishes he could sing and dance like Kermit. Walter wants to fit in with the Muppets. Being with them feels like being home to Walter. But what if he really does not have a talent? It is finally the night of the big show. Walter smiles when he sees how the Muppets are a family. What am I going to do? Walter asks Gary. Kermit is wrong. I do not have a talent. Walter feels terrible. He does not want to let the Muppets down. Seeing Walter upset makes Gary feel sad too. Kermit is not wrong, Gary tells him. Then Gary has an idea. Put on your tuxedo, buddy, he says. You're up next. Walter goes on stage in his tuxedo. He takes a deep breath and does what Gary just told him to do. He whistles a tune. Walter has always been able to whistle, but he never thought it was special. He whistles a beautiful song and everyone cheers. Walter has a wonderful talent, and there he is on stage at the Muppet Theater performing with the Muppets. The Muppets found out they still had fans like Gary and Mary, and they even had a new one. Tex Richmond found himself unable to resist the humor of the crazy gang. They did not save the studio, but in the end it did not matter. They were happy to have one another. Walter had a new family in the Muppets, and Gary was still his best friend. Not a single thing was missing. The end.